Hello everybody, this is Snaris again, and this is my RWBY Grimm Eclipse difficulty solo walkthrough. This is chapter 3, the Collapse, and I'm playing as Blake now, and that's my build right there. With her ultimate, I make sure she's got the stone/earthquake ultimate. All her team attack is maxed out, her ranged attack has the stun blades. And what the stun blades do is you got to hold down R2 to shoot, and you got to keep holding it down until she sets off a long horizontal arc that catches enemies in their path, and unless they've got heavy armor or they're one of the tougher Grimm or other enemies in general, they pretty much get caught completely, and you'll see it in a little bit. But right now I'm just showing off the basic combo that I use with Blake. It's just pushing square twice for 2 light attacks and then doing a heavy attack where I slash forward very strongly and then slash backwards in case there's another Grimm that tries to get up on my backside. Not as useful as RWBY stuff and not super strong compared to some of the other characters, but it's good enough. She's at least fast and she's pretty damn mobile, all things considered. So now I'm going to go away and do it. Now watch this. Shoot, 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 bang. Can you imagine in co-op someone using Blake having this ability and just doing this while everyone else just mops them up in the middle? The only problem is Blake always jumps back heaps whenever she shoots off all her shots, and it pushes you against the wall and knocks you into the camera. Now if you don't know what I just did there, that was my ultimate. I make a stone clone of myself and it explodes and does tons of damage. The reason why I didn't put an upgrade towards the next level up from that to give her the fire clone to explode and set enemies on fire is because it does do quite a bit more damage, but the skill point cost needed to get it just wasn't worth it. And I'd rather invest it in giving her more chances to do ultimates one after the other, because those ultimates become a clutch in case you get pinned in somewhere. But what you find you can do, and this is where, strangely enough, RWBY Grimm Eclipse's lock-on system, even though there is no lock-on system, is way better, or soft lock I guess, is way better than Ninja Gaiden 4's, because I've just been playing that recently and, you know, recently done a walkthrough of it. Is that with the left stick, you can control where the gun gets shot. So what you can do, even if the stun blades don't hit the enemy and stun them, you can still point in the direction of what enemy's coming at you, and if you shoot them once, they'll either get hit and fall back a bit, or they'll stagger and try to block it. That's something you can do. Now as we come down here, there's going to be a massive 5-wave fight. I believe it's the only 5-wave fight in the entire game, and it is needlessly long, and I hate it. Don't like it at all. Tight spaces, not a lot of room to go, and even though Blake's very useful in this, there's not a lot of room for her to move around and you don't do a lot of damage. So that's why I'm speeding this up. 2 times speed, and what you get what you get. Point in one direction to the next Grimm that's coming close towards you, back out a little bit so that you can see where you're going, and just do more of the same. Mop up the Grimm as you can, then when the Beowulf starts showing up, and all the Urs, because there'll be a few bears showing up near the end of this. And I'm essentially turning a 5-minute fight into a maybe 2.5 to 3 minute video, or a video clip, I should say. But yeah, like I said, this is more of the same. Just beat them up, and as the waves get tougher, get to open areas, or wait till they all spawn in, and when none of them are spawning anymore, just hit them all with the stun blades. Because even though Blake's gun doesn't do the most damage compared to RWBY's or even Yang's, she is at least hitting them, and with enough time, you know, they are dying. That's sort of a mistake I used to make with Blake, is that I was worried that even though her stun blades were really good, she wasn't doing enough damage, and so enemies were always catching up to her. And that's true, but you've just got to reposition yourself every once in a while. Understand that too many of them are coming up from the ground, too many of them are spawning in, so you just got to back off, wait for them all to spawn, and then come straight back in. So we come to the 3rd wave, and now we're getting the Beowulfs, and this is where things start getting quite dangerous. Because when you miss one counter, or you mistime it, and they hit you and stagger you a little bit, others will start to join in. Because if you wait for them to attack, you can hit circle one after the other, and you can get it down to a science, where one after the other you'll be able to parry them no problem, because the others will patiently wait their turn, but sometimes they don't. And even when you're pushing triangle over and over again to stun and stagger them, sometimes you'll get one that you miss, or 2 of them that miss, and they hit you both. Because remember, you've only got such limited skill points, and you're on your own here, and you may be tempted to buy the upgrade which gives you more aura or a faster regeneration of aura, or allows you to survive an extra hit or two when your aura depletes. And I've got none of that. I've got no health upgrades at all. I've put it all into making sure I've got the most ultimate bars that I can, that my ultimate's strong, and that each character, for the area they stand out in, works the best. And so you can see now why I love Blake so much and why she's so great in this game, and why she's great at ground control more so than any other character, and why she's going to be very useful, because we're going to be fighting enemies much worse than Grimm. Much, much worse, believe you me. I don't think I'll be speeding up any fights in the next mission, just because it's not a very long mission. But there will be a couple other fights here and there across the next several chapters I will be speeding up. But for the later ones, I think, for the most part, they're going to remain untouched. And there's a transition that leads us into the continuation of the fight for the final wave, but I slowed things down, because there's only 3 enemies here. When an Urz does that ground slam, you need to jump and dodge away from it. And they become vulnerable, so you do a heavy attack, hold down, and you can do tons of damage on them, because right now you do no damage on them, but they become vulnerable when they do that. And then you can hit R1 to do extra damage. Or, if they're on your own, you can give them several heavy attacks, like 2 or 3 of them, and you can still hit R1 and do that. But if you're facing multiple of the Urz, then you need to watch both of them patiently. Because look, I went in to attack that one, and then the other guy did a ground slam. Sometimes you'll wait ages, and the Urz won't even slam down. They'll take a whole minute before they finally do it, and you're trying to bait them and do something, but they won't fall for it. And if there's multiple of them, when one finally does do it, and you go in for the heavy attack to try and get it to work, the other one goes ahead and does it right as you do your heavy attack, and it completely throws you off, and that other Urz that you were trying to attack gets knocked out of it. So there I am trying to run away from the Borba because I don't like fighting these enemies, they fucking suck so much. But yeah, you gotta fight them. And as we come to the end of this mission, we'll be fighting more Urz. I believe it might be just one of them, but it's like a boss Urz. And when I first started the walkthrough for this and I was getting some practice in, trying to figure out how to beat them, I had no idea what the hell to do. I mean, because they don't teach you any of the controls, there's no tutorial in the beginning of the game. You know, you just pop it on and you just test the controls, seeing what does what. On one hand, I kind of respect it, but on another part, I think it would be good to know at least how to fight these things. I mean, after all, like, as much as I've kind of soured on a game like Doom Eternal over the years, like, I still love the game, I think it's fantastic, but one thing I thought was really strange is how, you know, I get it, they had several mechanics so you needed to learn them, but it was always weird to me how they went from kind of semi-serious, like, fairly dark to cartoonish in Eternal, and even going as far as introducing a boss or introducing a new type of enemy, but then they immediately tell you what their weak points are and how to beat them, instead of letting you figure it out for yourself. And I kind of wish that was here in this, because unlike with Eternal, you can't be flexible with your weapons. You have to know how to beat them, otherwise it's going to take forever, or you're going to keep wailing on these enemies and you're not going to know how to damage them. This just isn't the game for experimentation to keep people interested, because a lot of people won't be interested in it. As we go through these alleys, it's just nothing serious, and then we come to the final arena where we'll just be fighting a few Beowulfs, and then we'll be coming to, I believe it's just one Urz, but it's like a super Urz. It's much more heavily armoured Urz. Now, if you're wondering why I call them Urz, that's just what they're called, and I believe Urz is, I want to say it's Latin for bear, but I could be wrong about that. It might be Greek for bear, but then again I could also be wrong. I'm fairly certain it is. It might be Norse. Or maybe I got it right the first time. Okay, so these aren't exactly Beowulfs, but they still burrow into the ground. They can still mess you up. Oh, now we get the Beowulfs. So if you want to use your ultimate here just to clear out these enemies, go ahead and do it. Because when it comes to the fight coming up, you're not really going to need your ultimate. Your heavy attack and holding down triangle is going to be what does it for you. So just finish off the last of these mutts. And it's also a good foreshadowing to the green crystallized like mutant variants, super mutant variants of some of the Grimm that you end up fighting. So more are spawning on the map. You can use the mini-map to see when they're spawning in, when they're coming in. More are coming. I should probably wait for them all, round them all up with the stun blade, and then just hit them with the ultimate. I'm being rather inefficient here, taking huge risks. And here we go. Well, there's actually 2 of them. No, there's 3 of them. 4 of them, I think, I saw. Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to get the triangle in there for the heavy attack and do the ultimate there, as well as the R1, just to give myself a bit of added protection, just so they wouldn't kill me, because they would have otherwise. So these aren't any special Urs, they're just the regular Urs, but they're doing their ground slam. I'm almost dead. They're all stunned, but I don't want to take that risk. Oh, I do want to take that risk, but if he hit me there, I would have been killed. And they both did it at the same time, so there's a great chance for me to get in there, go to the other one, do that. So they're both stunned, and I both hit the R1. And now there's only one of them left, and he does it again, so that was a nice quick fight. Oh, now, here we go, here we go. This is the big boy. What I'm doing is a mistake, because I can't stun him. I need to wait for him to attack. And what he does is he does the same pounding attack, but instead of just a surrounding, what he does is he sends out pillars, and you need to get away from him and dodge a little bit to the left or the right and go around them. You'll see in a moment as I'm messing up here and nothing's really working, but well, actually no, I think I'm trying to bait him. I'm trying to bait him into doing that slam attack. Here we go. So notice this. Just keep away from it. Sometimes the hitboxes on those things are a little bit strange and they can hit you, and if they do, it diminishes your chances of being able to land a strike. That's why you got to get in there nice and quick. I can just imagine how hilarious it would be to fight this thing with multiple people doing the exact same strategy. It would just look goofy as hell, wouldn't it? Oh, and I was just trying to go around, but I got baited. I could have just gone straight forward. See there, like that. Because sometimes the camera auto-corrects itself onto this boss here. Because there's no lock-on, but when you fight a boss like this, it kind of just locks it on for you. So I'm all good. I go in for the last strike. Got him. And that's the end of the mission. That's the end of Chapter 3, and I'll see you for Chapter 4, if you'll carry on watching.